I want to talk to you guys about narratives. Can we talk about that for a second? And GME, you know, GME, AMC. I think it got to Nokia as well, but everyone just talks about GME. GameStop, where the game should have stopped. Listen, narratives are really, really compelling, okay? But I've warned you all in the past to not fall into them if they seem a little bit too convenient. I'll give you an example. Remember that clip of Amy Klobuchar? People spread that clip around, including me. And that clip of Amy Klobuchar had her saying, like, Donald Trump threatening to cut the entire stimulus bill is a threat to the American people. But some lefties quote tweeted it, and they were like, Amy Klobuchar is saying giving 2K checks to the American people is like a betrayal or something like that, you know? Just some ridiculous, it's not even uncharitable, it's just a lie, you know? It's not even an uncharitable take. And I retweeted that, and then later I realized what I had done, and I got rid of the retweet, but it doesn't matter. Because if you're in a public position, people just fucking believe you, no matter what. I know this because sometimes I make jokes, and you people take the jokes seriously. Like I think they're real, or that you think they're real. Like I make the silliest jokes, and you people have to like talk yourself out of believing it. It's crazy. But content creators are like that. If you got a lot of people watching you, some people are just going to believe you. It's an awesome responsibility. And I felt bad about that Klobuchar tweet because, you know, probably at least a couple people in my audience who never saw me talk about it afterwards. They just saw the retweet and then they believe a thing and the thing's not true and then they run off with their life. Narratives are super, super, super dangerous because it's really easy to get caught in them. I'll give you another narrative, okay? Force the vote. You know, the Justice Dems should leverage their votes for the Speaker House role in order to force Nancy Pelosi to put forward Medicare for all to vote. Now, there's a narrative there that I've been combating from day one. You're welcome. And that narrative is that the force the vote people are tirelessly holding the Justice Dems to the promises they made when they were elected, that they are pushing for Medicare for all in a pandemic, and that people standing in the way are obstructing access to health care in a time of great need. It's a very compelling narrative, and it's one the force the vote people tell themselves day in and day out, but it's a lie. If you watch me for any length of time talk about this, you can realize it's actually a pretty obvious lie. Like, if you look at, like, the way it's all structured and the arguments they make, it's like, you think about it for 2 minutes, you're like, wait, hold on, this is complete fucking bullshit. Wait, hold on, just wait, come on. There are some legitimate elements to the tactic of forcing the vote, of withholding vote for a speakership role, but they had no plan here. They had absolutely no plan. It was dumb from the beginning. They would lie about their intentions and their motivations, and a lot of people were grifting off of it, like Jimmy Dore, who only believes in politics insofar as he can profit from it. The narrative is dangerous because narratives help people, even intelligent people who normally think their position's out. Narratives help people uncritically adopt convenient beliefs, and they drop the skepticism they might otherwise preserve. I'll give you another narrative. The GME stock bullshit was an example of the little guy sticking it to the big guy. That's another narrative. Now, it's a very compelling narrative. I don't like Wall Street. I don't like stocks. I don't like money. No, I'm kidding. I love money. Please, no name. I don't like the finance industry for reasons that I imagine will be obvious to anybody even remotely familiar with anti-capitalist critiques. So when this story breaks, it sounds almost too good to be true. What's the story? The story is that there were hedge funds that were essentially short selling GME stock, which means they borrowed a bunch of that stock, that GME stock, they sold it at X price, and they hoped the price would drop. And that way, they could buy it back and repay the stocks they had bought. You make a lot of money that way. In fact, you can make billions of dollars that way. But it's a risky tactic, and it's generally reserved for hedge funds because they're the only ones with the capital necessary to really take advantage of those strategies. Generally speaking, regular folk can't do that. So, some enterprising young nerds on the Wall Street Bets subreddit saw that there were hedge funds relying on the GME stock going down. So they bought a bunch of GME stock, thus forcing the price up, fucking over the hedge funds, and making themselves billions of dollars. Now, some of that is true. What they did was called a short squeeze, and it did happen. And the hedge funds that initially bought into the short sale lost billions and billions of dollars. That's true. That is true. And there were people on Wall Street Bets who made an obscene amount of money near instantly. Now, to insulate myself from future criticisms, I want to make it perfectly clear that to my knowledge, and if I'm wrong on this, so help me, I'll criticize myself to hell and back, but so help me, I don't think at a single point I advocated anyone buy or sell a single piece of stock, okay? Want to be clear about that. Now, if I'm wrong on that, because I really do have a terrible memory, y'all make me clear, okay? Or make me aware of that. Yeah. I think, yeah, now I'm even at the time that I bought into this narrative, I was under the impression that there were complexities that I wasn't aware of. I was under that impression. You know, vaguely, the stock market's complicated. But I think I still went over the line because I presented to you that narrative. Now, here's the truth. The real truth, okay? Get ready for it. Here's the truth. So, the truth is, half of what I just said is true. There were a bunch of folks online. They did a short squeeze. They made a lot of money. Some of them. The real truth is that, as is the case with every major move on Wall Street, hedge funds were the backbone. About 90% of the money made off that short squeeze went to hedge funds. Not the little guy online, not your casual investor with what, your life savings of 20,000? No, hedge funds have billions. Could have been even more than 90% went to the hedge funds. But hedge funds may have taken the lion's share of the winnings. You're never going to guess who's going to take the lion's share of the losses. Because on account of internet hype, a lot of poor motherfuckers ran on in there and bought GME stock when that shit was sitting at $300. And there was nowhere for that price to go but down from there. The only reason GME's stock was so high was because so many people were buying it. And the reason people were buying it were half hype and half because it was part of a short squeeze to fuck over the hedge funds. Now, I don't have an issue with the traditional motto of Wall Street Bets, the subreddit, which is, what was the phrase they were repeating to begin with? We can be retarded longer than they can remain solvent. That's them, not me. Don't get mad at me. There was an underlying understanding that the people on Wall Street Bets were engaging in incredibly risky and destructive behavior. Okay, you want to gamble your life savings? That's the free country. But that was not the narrative that persisted. The narrative that persisted was not, we're a bunch of rogue internet investors and we're going to try to make some Mongo money off of some crazy Wall Street shit. The narrative was that the people on Wall Street Bets were freedom fighters who had uncovered a path for the average person to make a fuck ton of money off the back of Wall Street. That was the narrative that actually persisted. And that narrative led to a lot of people, and I mean a lot, buying in when GME was at 100, 150, 200. People on Twitter, they're screaming about how they're fighting the system, and a bunch of accusations of illegality go out there, some of which I made. I'll give you some examples. Remember when Robinhood started forcing people to sell their GME stock? This must be illegal, I said. That stock was bought on margin. They borrowed the money to buy that stock, and if the stock price gets too volatile, it auto sells. That's how it works. That's how the margin trading works. That's how it be. That's how the system works. That's not illegal. That's very legal. It's extremely legal, as a matter of fact. But I said I thought it might be illegal because I had no fucking idea what I was talking about. I didn't know. Wall Street is complicated, and I don't fault myself for not being familiar with every little nitty-gritty individual aspect of it. I don't think anyone's familiar with everything, but I wasn't familiar with enough. And now there are a bunch of people convinced this is some fucking David versus Goliath story, but it's not. A bunch of ordinary people have been duped. They've been fucked over because a narrative convinced them that it was a good idea for them to buy into an inflated stock in the completely misguided impression that they were fucking over a hedge fund. And you know what? Excuse me. From what I've seen, Wall Street Bets has leaned into it. As in, Wall Street Bets has been deleting posts of people talking about their losses or people talking about an end game or an out strategy. From what I've heard and from what I've seen, too. As in, Wall Street Bets has turned into a 24/7 hype parade for this terrible fucking idea. Now, I want to be clear, okay? I want to be perfectly clear about this. If you're a Wall Street Bets mod, or anyone else in a position where you can control the flow of information on the situation, and you are deliberately cultivating available information to convince people to buy into your stock, that's pretty fucked up. Because real people lose real life savings over this shit. And what's worse is that if you get real skeptical about it, it seems like a lot of what the people on Wall Street Bets have been doing kind of amounts to encouraging people to get into a pump and dump scheme. Remember, the more people who buy a stock, the more the price goes up. If you sell a stock, the price goes down. Now, here's a question for you. If you bought 10,000 shares of GME when it was at $5, and now it's at $300, don't you want more people to run on into the market and buy some more of that GME stock? Don't you want people to not sell? Because if they sell, the price of your shares go down. You want them to keep dying. You want them to hold so that you can pull out at the most profitable time. But here's the issue. Somebody has to be left holding the bag. And for every person that makes a bajillion fucking dollars because they sold at 380 after buying at 5, there are all the people who bought at 380 and are going to sell at 5. A lot of people. And we haven't even begun to felt the repercussions of that. There are still people deluding themselves into thinking that, what's the stock at right now? $80? It could go up a little bit. 60? Is it at 60? Could go up a little bit from here. But it doesn't matter how much internet hype you drive up, because you know what? The real reason those prices went up was because hedge funds bought in. Not because of random internet people bought in. You don't have that much control over the market. And the hedge funds have made their money, by the way. Billions and billions of dollars. Tens of billions. It's a very dangerous narrative. It was too convenient and I bought into it. The reality is that the house always wins, and there is no fucking way that a discoordinated group of internet degens could ever manipulate the market to the extent that they could outperform hedge funds, okay? It's not going to happen. It's just not. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you get the People's Hedge Fund, some cooperative, okay? Everyone slammed, it's like a union dues. You slam their money in there and the world's smartest Marxists try to find a way to make more money off the market. Fuck it, sure. Godspeed, have fun. But that's not what happened here. At all. Now, the only reason, because I have to give fair credit, the only reason that I was educated about And by the way, I still don't know that much. There's a guy called Rage Pope. He's a part of Destiny's community. Heard him talk for a bit. He seems to really have his head on screwed straight when it comes to the stock stuff. So I'm going to talk to him sometime soon. Real soon, actually. And we could learn more there. I think that'd be nice for all of us. Gotta understand the systems you're criticizing. But, Vosh, isn't this too late? No. There are a lot of people, I'll address it. There are a lot of people in Destiny's community who are like really ass-pained over this. Destiny focuses on more than anything else, is what he perceives to be consistency and responsible messaging. That's the thing that he cares about the most. Now, credit where credit's due. Is Destiny a girl's name? Yes. Now, credit where credit's due. Wouldn't have figured a lot of this out were it not for Destiny stirring up a fuss about it. Because everywhere I looked online, and I mean everywhere, people were selling the narrative. Okay? Everywhere. Even from people who, I thought maybe a little bit more head on straight. I'll give you an example. The Stonks guy talked to AOC, and then he talked to Destiny. Said a lot of really convenient stuff talking to AOC, revealed himself to be a fucking moron talking to Destiny. But I listened to his convo with AOC prior. When people who have the clout to talk to congresswomen are spreading misinformation, half-truths, it can be really difficult to get the facts. So I'll say this. This is to me too. This is me and to you, okay? When narratives are convenient, be critical, okay? Be skeptical, for God's sake, okay? Anytime it feels like there's some piece of information or some story that is just so unbelievably picture-perfect, headline-friendly, you need to be skeptical about that shit. Because people will take advantage of that. And people will, certainly in this instance, they'll sell you on information that they monetarily benefit from. Oh, the chat freeze? I wonder why. Well, Godspeed, chat. So the final, I guess the addendum here is I think Destiny is going to do some master post where he roasts everybody who perpetuated misinformation on the GME situation, which is totally fine. That's good content too. I'm gonna be in there, and I think that's fair recompense, But there are people in Destiny's community who wait, hold on. We got a thread here. Give it to me. I feel it's creepy without chat working. Hey, White, Methaldu, anyone? Why is chat not working? Get over here. Anyway, I'm getting creeped out with chat not. Okay, here, I'm closing you. Jeez, fuck. It's like I'm being stared at by a corpse. Jesus Christ. Wait, but I'm about to switch screens, which means that it's gonna get it again? Yep, there we go. Get out of here. Shoo! Don't trust you, motherfuckers. Makes more readable anyway. Anyway, here's the thread. I'll address the criticisms. Vosh's pre-stream title. I was wrong about Stonks, AOC, Capitol riots, and more. That's the stream we're watching right now. And this is relevant, of course, because Destiny's community is under the impression that it was because of Destiny that my perspectives on this issue changed, which is completely correct. Welcome back, chat. Anyway, I wonder if this stream title exists in a world where Destiny isn't firing off level-headed takes while every single content creator is jumping on the hype machine. Really makes you wonder. The answer to this one is no, actually. Since I got this information from Destiny and Destiny's stream, this stream title wouldn't exist in a world otherwise. So, thanks. There you go. Then they're arguing back and forth for a bit on whether or not it's okay to change your mind after. Vosh is begging not to be included in the manifesto. Roast me! Get me in there. I don't care. Ever heard of the expression "too little, too late"? This is a tendency that I'm not a big fan of. There's a how do I put this exactly? When you're obsessed more with logical consistency, perceived logical consistency than anything else, rationality becomes an exclusive little club. I see Destiny's community say a lot of incredibly stupid fucking shit. I don't think I've ever said about anything under any circumstances too little too late. I don't think that's ever anything that I've ever said about anyone else. I think that it's very important to encourage people to change their minds. I think this mentality only encourages people to double down in the perspectives that they currently have, because they don't want to be accused of being inconsistent, which is a huge problem, because I talk to a lot of people who I can tell they know they're wrong, but their ego is too fragile for them to acknowledge the fact that they're wrong. So yeah, I think this is a really bad mentality. Too little, too late sounds like something I'd hear from a woke scold. It's something you'd hear from a cunty person, just like kind of a cunty person, basically. I think they're calling them out for that. What else do we got? Oh, here we go. As per usual, hot take that rides the populist wave for clout, then backpedal for his audience a few days later. They'll all take it like, wow, he's so honest, I guess I can really trust him. Rinse and repeat till we're all standing in bread lines being demeaned by some commie daddy for asking a question in chat. I think this person might be... I think this person might be carrying a lot to this interaction, you know? I think they might have brought something to here, you know? Like, brought a little something from themselves into this. Wait. Oh, wait, hold on. Can you give examples of Vosh participating in the cycle you just described? Downplaying the coronavirus last January as another bird flu that is sensationalized to distract the people from real problems. Wait, I didn't even release those videos. Does that count? Back when I said that, it was literally like a couple hundred confirmed cases in China. How the fuck was I supposed to know? Wait, come on. Spreading fake news about the Kenosha shooting. Kyle was shooting in crowds of people. Oh, I know what this one is from. When I was talking with Destiny over this, because he was saying shit like the people who Kyle Rittenhouse killed were morons and they deserve to die, I jumped in there and I said, question, wasn't Kyle, like, shooting into crowds of people from 20 feet away? And then 2 seconds later I said, but I could be misremembering, and then we watched the clip, and then I never said it again. Because I hadn't seen the clip, because I wasn't obsessing over the details of a mass shooting like Destiny and his community was. Propagating DNC conspiracy theories when Biden won over Bertie. Never did that. Spread the edited Klobuchar clip. Yeah, we did do that one. And this GME shit, including spreading another edited clip of that Wall Street guy to make it sound like he is against private traders. Oh yeah, guys, remember that one clip of the super cunty rich dude who was like, I hate poor people, this is our domain, this is the Wall Street domain, fuck the... It turns out that clip was actually edited. Edited pretty well, by the way. I rewatched it. It took me a couple of... Even though I knew what I was supposed to be looking for, it took me a couple of rewinds to find that out. I take 50-50 blame on this one. Everyone was sharing that clip, and the edit was pretty seamless. I don't think that people, generally speaking, find, like, every clip online, and they're like, okay, time to track it to the source, here's the timestamp. I don't generally think that's a level of skepticism engaged in by online commentators. I guess I could do it, but that's... yeah. Man. The fact that some people will just edit clips like that and make it seamless enough that it's really, really difficult to trace back sure does make it a lot harder to do this. Vosh, I'm going to have to go ahead and say that was in no way a seamless transition. I couldn't find it. I had to, like, look for it, like, a couple times. Maybe I'm just dumb. All right, are we good? Did we do it? I think we did it. Nice. All right. Oh, get the chat back. Get back in here, folks. Come on. Gotta preemptively. Gotta get in there. Vosh, do you think you need to be a little more careful with how you get your information in the future? I've seen multiple people saying they lost a lot of money because of your video. Wait, have you? In my video, I specifically say, like, not to buy into this. I mean, I suppose that's possible, but yeah. I mean, obviously the goal is always going to be as accurate as possible with the dissemination of information. But when it comes to stuff like that, there are always going to be unfortunate edge cases. Also, at the end of the day, you're the one responsible for your own investments, okay? Jeez. Yeah. You have money, Vosh, pay it out. Yeah, I will personally compensate everybody who lost money in the GME fiasco. Okay, that's my promise. Okay, the people's wallet is coming in. No, fuck you. It's not happening. Um, Wait, Vosh, yeah, I'm down 800 now. I tried to ask the Wall Street Bets Discord. I was in about it and they banned me. Okay, see, this is what I mean. Unironically, I think the real villains here aren't even Wall Street traders. I think it's all the people in Wall Street Bets who are promoting a pump and dump scheme. I think what they... Okay, I've said this before and I was wrong, but I think this might be illegal. Aren't pump and dump schemes illegal? Where you like lie to try to push people into buying a stock to inflate its price so you make the most money when you sell? I feel like that might be a little illegal, a little bit smidgen. Look it up. Okay. All right. Are pump and dump schemes illegal? Only 3 typos this time. A pump and dump is an illegal scheme to boost a stock's price based on false, misleading, or greatly exaggerated statements. Oh shit! False, misleading, or greatly exaggerated statements pretty easily encapsulate some of the stuff that's going on. Jesus. Literally, a thing on Wall Street Bets is don't take advice from Wall Street Bets. I think they lose the right to say that at this point. There were millions and millions of people join the Wall Street Bets subreddit. The idea that like, oh, haha, we're all memeing, and that's why we're very selectively deleting information that prevents people from making more informed decisions. And this is not financial advice, but here's 80,000 threads that we push up to the front of the page about how like I made $1 trillion off that. Yeah, I don't know. You're going to change anything about how you cover news to make sure this doesn't happen again? All you've said so far is, well, everything I was saying it, so I obviously followed along. Yeah, well, I mean, I'll try. But nobody is ever 100% accurate. I think that I can tell the people who are in Destiny's community. The goal is always to be as accurate as possible, but what I'm saying here is only an extension of claims that I've made in the past, which is that convenient narratives, that especially ones that are pushed by lefties, tend to be really fucking dishonest because they have like an agenda to sell. So obviously that's something to be worked on. But I think that if you like look hard enough into most people online, like most people's engagement with X or Y idea, or like especially with like these big trends, breaking news, people tend to give bad takes. And the goal there, I think, one goal or one solution to that is waiting a little bit. A smidge, waiting a smidge, not immediately fucking talking about something, being skeptical of things that sound too convenient, that kind of stuff, you know? We should all be doing that. More so me than you guys, because I got to stream and stuff, but yeah. Anyway, there you go. Got to be careful with that stuff. The whole GME situation is stupid. Yeah, sure. And now there are a bunch of lefties who are going to remember this day as like fucking the 99% movement round 2, where they single-handedly took down I've seen people, some of the posts about this are completely unhinged, by the way. There are people saying shit like, yeah, this is the day that the common people took down Wall Street, or we shut down Wall Street. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't think these people have I don't think these people can fathom the scale of Wall Street, of the financial industry, of how much money really circulates through it. How many trillions of dollars are held collectively by hedge funds in the US? How much money? Is there even a measure of that? Moves. Well, I'm sure there's a measure of it. How much the stock market moves today? How much money moves through Wall Street? Yeah, definitely in like the tens of billions a day. Just quite a bit, you know? All right, did we do it? Wait, damn, Vosh, this is kind of a shit take, not gonna lie. Wait, what's the shit take? Wait, what are we linking? Why would you ever link a tweet without some sort of description of its content? This tweet is ableist. I can't show that. Jesus. Biden's plan is going to pass? Yeah, we'll talk about it. If you perform that calculation across all 3,066 companies in the NYSE and add them all up, you get a total capitalization of 15 trillion. I don't know if that money moves every single day. Okay, yeah, I think we did it. I think at the end of every segment, everybody says it's a bad take. True! Okay, we did it. Nicely done, team. Well done. Make them videos too long. Nobody's going to watch them. That's how it be.